Let's go to Ticketmaster. Joe, I don't know if you know this, but people review concerts on Ticketmaster.com.
So the first time I had ever heard of this was on your episode about jam bands, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? Why are you reviewing Humphreys McGee on Ticketmaster?"
Well, maybe we can ask why John is reviewing Morbid Angel and Crypta.
Crypta would be the support act there, or is it like, are they on the same level?
Yeah, Crypta is like a lady death metal band,
and that will come up.
Mm-hmm.
Last night's Morbid. This is a 5-star review from John for the Baltimore Soundstage. So John really liked this show.
Sweet.
Last night's Morbid Angel show was pretty awesome. The pit was lively and the crowd was nothing short but crazy wild. He got that wrong. I didn't get that wrong. Nothing short but crazy wild. Not to mention the amount of women that were in the pit as well. Love it. Crypta played their 30-minute set first. These Brazilian queens are going to do special things in metal. Even got to meet and greet them, who were very nice and extremely genuinely gracious, but I refused to take a picture with them, but just shared my appreciation seeing them and welcoming them to the States. I just refused to partake in the zoo-like tourist frenzied attitudes that some were exhibiting. Geez, people, Vitriol and Revocation also played, so he didn't get his picture taken because...
Well, he's just a little bit above that, you know what I mean? It's like you guys are like fanning out a little bit, but I'm not really like, I just kind of respect the music. And honestly, though, even the way he phrased it, he's like, I meet and greet that, like, he's saying he greeted them.
Uh-huh.
The way he phrased it was almost like, hey, it's just we're greeting each other. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not like they're doing a meet and greet that I came to.
I like his attitude. Like, I'm not, I don't want to be a part of the celebrity culture machine.
I just bought the meet and greet ticket, the extra VIP ticket that you do the meet and greet with, you know what I mean? Just to vibe with them on like a person to person level though, you know?
Honestly, something must have been pretty vile there, because he writes about women creepily in this bit, but he must have seen like his fellow nerd ilk going like crazy gross around these women. And,
putting their arms around them. Yeah. That's what probably happened.
I was thinking about, he's like writing about women. I was thinking about it if it's creepy, and I think it probably is. I was like thinking about the way he says, like, I love it that there's women in the pit, but there's the other side of it where he's just like, hey, it's cool to see that it's usually just all guys in the pit. Like, it was cool to see like a more diverse, like, you know, in the pit. But I mean, yeah, most likely I'm giving him unnecessary benefit of the doubt here.
He goes, Vitriol and Revocation also played last night. Both also brutally shook the pillars of the Baltimore soundstage. However, while talking with the lead singer of Crypta, Fernanda Lira, her and I were both surprised with the choice.
What the this guy is like, I was basically doing the concert in a lot of ways. Like, I was kind of on that side, whereas you guys were on that side. You know, we weren't like they were discussing.
I love the way he goes. However, while talking with the lead singer of Crypta, Fernanda Lira, her and I were both surprised with the choice of background music, followed by hysterical laughter. The song, you may ask? Sussudio by Phil Collins. SMH. Those guys from Revocation love their Phil Collins, LOL. And the crowd ate it up too, which was cool as fuck. And last but not least, Morbid Angel. So now he has spent all of his time talking about how he talked to a woman in a band.
That's a red letter day for a death metal fan.
Yeah, he's not even gotten to the show yet in this review, and he's written like a lot of words.
It's so fucking funny to frame it like it wasn't just him saying, "Isn't it weird they played Sussudio?" And then
she's like, "What was that? Sorry." Like, it's kind of loud. Like, what? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She politely said, "Oh, yeah. They love the Sussudio."
But she didn't hear what he said fully. She heard just like a couple of words, and she sort of like did the yeah.
And he thought they were having like a deep conversation, like it was Frost Nixon or something. He goes, and Morbid Angel, what's there more to say? They triumphed, and their live sound was so refined and crystal clear. Their new material translated well, and the crowd was just as receptive. But then again, that soundstage system has and is the best sound ever. Again, all bands sounded and were superior. So
no, that's not how superior works.
They were superior.
Superior to what?
all the
Only
bands
one
are
of them
superior.
can be. Okay, never mind.
That means
This
good.
guy, yeah, I know this guy is very positive, and I appreciate that. It does feel like he's kind of like he kind of thinks of himself maybe as a bit of a like a guy who should be maybe doing this professionally in like a magazine of some kind, like the sort of language he uses. I appreciate that. He takes it serious.
I think he feels like a big deal. And I think he's doing the thing where it's like, so I've met guys in bands that I really like, and I melted down every time. It was just, I haven't met one since I've had the podcast, and I actually understand that people are just people.
Mhm.
So every time I met the guys from Korn, I was like scared. But I met the guitarist for Deftones, Steven Carpenter, once, and I didn't meet him. I just said, "Hey man, will you sign my ticket?" And he was like, "Do you have any cigarettes?" And I gave him a cigarette, and then that was it. And I told that story, like me and him were on the same level at that moment, so many times that I'm thinking about this guy and thinking about the moment that I said I had.
Yeah, as you say it, I had the same thing. I had a moment like that as well when I was younger, outside Richards on Richards in Vancouver, when I met Robin Pecknold from Fleet Foxes, who's like the lead singer of Fleet Foxes, not a metal band, obviously. But they were like, I met him before they were big, and it was like the most nothing interaction ever. And I just like told it like that. I was chill, like talking to fucking Robin Pecknold, like just fucking shooting the shit. It was like we said nothing. It was like, hey, what's up? I like your music. Like that was it,
Yeah, I did the same thing. I went to see Coal Chamber and Slipknot one time, and Coal Chamber's guitar player, Raina, woman, and the dream of, I mean, everybody's dream woman at that time at the show, because she was a woman. She stepped on my foot when she was walking back to the green room. And I told that story a bunch of times too. I was like, she turned around and said sorry. And I was like, hey, don't worry about it.
You always just have to like add a little bit of something in there because you recognize that it's not good enough on its own. So you have to lie a little bit,
Yeah, but not too hard.
Not too hard. The bones of the story are true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I talk to musicians pretty regularly, and I put it out of my head like you're just a normal person. We're here to talk shop or whatever, help promote your record. But one time I saw a musician that I really liked at a bar where I had 17 or 18 drinks, and that I made an ass of myself. I walked up, I'm like, oh my god, dude, a huge fan. I saw you guys on this album cycle when I was in college. He's like, yeah, that was a long time ago. And then like he walked away.
It's so weird because I mean, like, I don't have any fame or whatever, but like when we would do live shows and people would talk to me outside of the show, it really was like, for me, it was like the same kind of weird as it is for them. So when I think about it now, it's like, oh, when these guys are meeting these people, it's weird for both sides. You don't know what to say. Like a lot of times you have no idea. Like a lot of guys would come up to me and be like, hey, I was going to bring you some Xanax, but I took it. And it's like, you don't have to tell me.
That's funny. That's a funny, like, that's a nice little icebreaker.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Bryan and I are way down. We're doing a live show coming up soon too. So if people are at the live show, you feel free to come talk to me. I'm very social. I'll talk to you.
I will too.
I will enjoy it. I won't come on the podcast afterwards and talk shit about the interaction on the podcast that you're probably listening to. Don't worry.
I'll suck you off.
Bryan, he starts panicking because he realizes it. He's like, okay, I gotta step it up here. I will suck you.
This next guy gave it 3 stars. He goes, it's all right. This is at Gramercy Theater in New York. Venue's clean but small and tough to get around in during sold-out shows. Acoustics are average. Expensive drinks, of course, but seating was the main problem. Getting a seat is a free-for-all, and if you're a normal-sized adult man, you're going to be uncomfortable sitting in one. So this guy, normal-sized adult man.
He might be a big metal guy, though. A lot of metal guys are pretty big, too, I've noticed.